Welcome back to Cobra Vids, everybody. In this video, we're going to be working on a septic tank aerator motor, pump, whatever you want to call it. I noticed that my septic tank was not flowing or bubbling or whatever you want to call it. Air wasn't being blown into the shit. So I have this kind of turned around because it's blah, blah, blah. But this is a Hiblow aerator for a septic tank. We'll get a model number off of it, but the first thing is to remove this screw here. And once you do that, it's going to uncover a small filter. That's the filter that you replace filter every year. Clean it every 6 months. And when you clean it, you just kind of blow it out. I'll show that to you before I close it up for the video. I don't have my big screwdriver right here, so I can't open it up real quick. But in order to get to these pumps, and well, what I wound up doing is I wound up pulling it apart. That's why there's no screws in here, because I went ahead and pulled the cover off to investigate what went wrong with it. And I just wanted to put the cover back on just to show you what it looks like. It actually is flipped around this way because that's the little hole, that's the little port that plugs in, this hose plugs into. Did you all get that out there? I just got off work, so I'm kind of off right now. But if you pull all 4 screws, and there's one in that corner there, if you pull them all off, this is a pretty heavy cover. It's metal, solid metal. So, okay. Whoa! And what we're going to do is we're going to look at the label here. This is Hiblow, and the model number is HP-80-0117. And there's another air compressor E number right there. And I just wanted to show you this label so that you can possibly compare it with yours. And if it's the same one, then you can go to the link that I'm going to leave in the description for the replacement parts. Here is another filter. Maybe it looks kind of yellowish. Maybe it's an insulator for sound, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, we'll just throw that over there because we don't need it. And here is the pumps. And they are held on by 4 screws. 1, 2, and then 2 on the bottom here. And then this hose is attached to them with this little clippy thingy. Okay, so when I pulled these off, I immediately realized, uh-oh, that's not right. So both of these actually are looking just like that. Here's one of them, and here's the other one right here. And they're just torn up. And what they are diaphragms, and this little thing goes back and forth like this, and it's supposed to be attached. And as it's going back and forth, it's pumping air. And this hose and that hose gets air pushed in there, and then it comes out that part right there, and comes through here and gets pumped into my aerator for my septic tank. And I noticed that it wasn't on, so then I started playing with it, and I realized, because this is a magnetic piece right here, and I noticed that it was flopping around like this, and I knew right away that was not correct. And when I poured this concrete slab for it in one of my other videos, I noticed that it was kind of loud. So I'm hoping that this quiets it down. And I also noticed that it wasn't blowing as much as it should. So I didn't know what was going on. So as soon as I eat dinner, I'm going to come out here. I'm going to take the rest of the broken pieces off, and I'm going to install the new pieces, and I'm going to show you how it's done right here on Cobra Vids. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. All right, so the first thing is I'm going to get the diaphragms installed, and this is only going to take a couple turns to get the old one off. We're only going to do one side. The other side is identical, so I'm only going to record doing one side. A little washer here that has to come off. Come on, come on. There you go. Set that down safe. And then this should come right off the shaft there, just like that. Okay, just like that. You see that? And I'm not sure don't think these pieces have to come off. I think the new ones need to be opened up. Let's check those out. All right, so here's a comparison. Left is the old, right is the new. No crap, right? Well, this has everything to do with crap. Okay, so I can't see any difference at all except for the right one is brand new. They look identical in, well, yeah, they do look pretty identical. So, all right, let's look at the diaphragms. Here's a diaphragm. That will actually pop out of there, but I'm not going to move it because it's not needed. So I'm going to make sure that the orientation is correct. I believe it goes like this. It goes in there like this. Oh, mosquitoes are getting me. So I think it's going to go just like that. Yeah, and the reason why is because those little grooves fit into, oops, I just knocked the seal out. Those little grooves fit on each side of the piece in the middle here. I don't know what that piece is called, so we're just going to call it the centerpiece. I guess I could be on a workbench doing this, but hey, how fun is that, you know? All right, so it comes with brand new replacement hardware. So let's go ahead and get one of these out and get that first diaphragm mounted. Okay, so we got this tightened down. It's oh my god, torque. You know, no, I'm just kidding. I just used a pair of pliers to tighten it up until I thought, yeah, that's good. So now all that's left is us to put the cap on here, and then I'll slide it in here first and get that stuck in there, and then we'll get it situated in there. And it even came with brand new screws, and we'll go ahead and utilize 4 of those for each side. So let me get it started, and I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, so when I started putting it together, I realized that it's going to be, when I start to tighten these screws up, it's going to have to be pinched in. So it didn't act like it wanted to fit in there like that. You see how that gap is? At first I was kind of nervous, but then I realized the reason why the old one fits so perfectly is because it's a squished old gasket. Okay, one thing I did notice is the brand new screws that came with it were a tad bit shorter than the old ones. And so I went ahead and I used the old screws because they were a little longer and it was easier to get started. There was a couple more threads in the metal due to how the seal needed to be compressed. So I went ahead and used the old ones. I don't think that's a problem because they're just fine. All right, all of them tightened up just fine. It's now compressed. There's no gap in there. And now all I got to do is put this clamp back on there. Okay. I'm not going to put it back in the same groove because I chose to put it up a little higher on some fresh rubber so it got more of a grip. It's got the grip, man. Okay, so I'm going to flip it around and do the other side. And then we'll be right back to talk about it and to kick it on. Alrighty, so we've got both sides on and the hoses are back on. And right now I can see how now that centerpiece is right in the center of those 2 magnets. It's not on one side or the other like it was. So now the only thing I have to do is get the cover back on and get power to it. But first I'm going to show you that inside filter just in case you want to see that. Okay, so that little filter I was talking about is right here. This filter does look kind of dirty. I'm probably going to go ahead and order a new one if I can find one because that looks gross. It's probably needing replaced. I probably will not be able to wash that out, blow it out or whatever. That looks pretty dirty. So we're going to go ahead and replace that. But yeah, that's the filter. That's supposed to be cleaned every 6 months and replaced every year. So, okay, I'm going to put that cover back on. We've already got it plugged back into the pipeline going out to the septic tank. So we'll go ahead and plug it in and see if it kicks on. All right, guys, that is hella loud. But I had to switch it on, I guess. I guess that is a way to kill it. I don't know for sure, but all I had to do was put that into the middle. Oops, put that in the middle there, and it stays on. Very, very loud right here, so let's hope it quiets down once we get it back together. Now listen to the difference when the cover is on. Isn't that amazing? So all right, I'm gonna get these screws back in and I'm gonna show you what the septic tank does. All right, so now with the lid closed, it's very quiet. So let's go check out the septic tank. Make sure I don't drop my phone in there. That is what the pump does, and it aerates the dirty side of the tank. And boy, it's smelling horrible. It's been several days not cycled, so aerating it really helps breaking down the sewage or the shit, whatever you want to call it. And boy, that smells foul. So now we're going to just go ahead and let it do its magic. It's septic tank magic. Okay, well that's going to wrap it up for this video. I hope it helped you determine what's wrong with yours and how to get yours fixed. So I will make sure that I place a link to that parts kit in the description below, or I may even throw it up here somewhere right around in there. But anyway, go ahead and try to click on these two videos right here and see what else we're doing out on Cobra Vids property. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay free. Catch you on the next one.